The morning began, as so many late-year mornings do, with instructions spoken softly but urgently, the kind that hold both care and fatigue. Deep bent down to tie Nyi's hair, her fingers moving quickly, skillfully. The child sat obediently on the small wooden chair afterward. Her books spread out neatly before her. Put your hat on to keep warm, Deep reminded her gently. Sit here and study properly. Keep the fire going so it stays warm. Don't wander around, all right? I have to go to work now. Nhi nodded, solemn in the way only children can be when they sense responsibility. I've finished studying, Ms. Deep, she called out a little while later. From the kitchen came the sharp hiss of boiling water. Oh, the water's boiling, Deep responded quickly. I'll go cook the rice. You stay here and tend the fire. Yes, ma'am. Outside their modest home, the air carried the unmistakable rhythm of the days leading up to Tet, Vietnam's Lunar New Year. Everything felt accelerated. Every decision mattered more. 50 tons before Tet at the timberyard, the numbers were heavy. Ms. Deep, one of the workers reported, we've processed about 50 tons of vegetables, and there are still around 50 more tons left. The real concern, however, wasn't vegetables. At Yard B, wood chips and firewood lay stacked in patient, towering rows. Tuan, Deep called out, her voice firm now, all business. There are still 50 tons of wood chips there, right? Tuan nodded. I just checked. Push all of it out before Tet, she said decisively. After Tet, we're leaving this yard anyway. Everything, we can't carry this burden into the new year. 17 trucks, just days remaining. 50 tons. Before Tet, everything must be settled. Boss James and the call, Boss James, came the voice over the phone. Yes, it's me. They spoke about Tet gifts, the annual bonuses for workers who had labored through heat, rain, and rising costs all year. I want to discuss something, the manager said. Are you home? I'm at Yard B. I'll come over. Moments later, James was on another call. Duck. Hello, mister, are you still buying wood chips or firewood? I have about 50 tons, 17 truckloads. Some of the trees are large enough to process. There was negotiation. If you have time tomorrow, come take a look. James pressed. Hesitation, calculation. If it works for you, load it immediately. They finalized the tentative agreement. Mr. Duck, who supplied firewood for liquor distilleries, might take it all. 50 tons cleared before Tet. That was the goal. The Tet bonus dilemma back in the office. Another discussion unfolded, this one more delicate. Previously, we agreed that each worker would receive 9 million Vietnamese dongs for Tet. Plus 3 million in gifts, the manager began carefully, but I've been contacting gift suppliers. James listened. A 3 million dong gift box feels excessive. Instead, I suggest we prepare a 500,000 Vietnamese dongs gift box and give the remaining 2.5 million in cash. James leaned back. What's included in the 500,000 box? A bottle of wine. A printed glass set with our company logo. A gift bag. Branding mattered. Candy. Presentation mattered. There are 74 workers, the manager continued. That's 37 million Vietnamese dongs total for gift boxes. New employees would receive 8.5 million total bonuses. Those with 3 years of service would receive 11 million. Have the gifts been prepared? Yes. James nodded slowly, just waiting for delivery. It was already the 27th of the lunar month. How long will the workers stay? Probably until the 28th. On the 29th, they'll want to return home. James thought for a moment. Don't tell them about the gifts yet. Silence. We'll say they're working overtime on the 28th. Maybe even hint they'll work the 29th. Give the gifts at night. Then we surprise them. Let them go home happy. A strategic kindness. For those who live far away, he asked. Most are within 10 to 15 kilometers. Good, James said. Then the surprise won't inconvenience them. The plan was set. Surprise gifts. Overtime on the 28th. Early release. Counting the money, it's 1p. The manager said, I'll transfer 800 million. How much total? 824 million. Check again. Numbers were repeated. Boss. Withdraw it. Reconfirmed. Confirmed. Money moved quickly at year's end. Salaries, bonuses, supplier payments. Call the gift company, James instructed. Tell them to deliver tonight if possible. Every hour counted now. Radish soup and questions when James returned to Deep's home later. The scent greeted him before the door opened. Wow, he said lightly. What did you cook? It smells incredible. Radish soup, Deep replied, setting down bowls. NHI sat waiting, legs swinging slightly. Sit still, Deep told her. Let me serve your rice. Auntie Deep, NHI asked suddenly. Is Uncle James coming to live with us? The question hung heavier than steam above the soup. Uncle James is very busy, Deep answered carefully. He comes when he's free. I thought he would live with us. James, standing nearby, said nothing. Eat before it gets cold, Deep urged, gently redirecting. NHI obediently picked up her spoon. I invite you to eat rice, Auntie Deep, she said politely. I wish Uncle James were here to eat with us. NHI added. James smiled faintly. Outside, the year was ending. The room quieted. Inside, certain questions remained unanswered. After lunch, I'll clean up, Deep said. Then NHI can nap. Vegetables were rinsed and soaked in cold water, preparation for pickling. Tet meant preserved dishes, stored carefully against the first days of the new year. But even as she worked, the question returned to James's mind. How do we get rid of all the remaining wood before year's end? He picked up the phone again. Thuan, this is James. Mister, I have 60 tons of firewood. Do you need supply for Tet? Some customers had cancelled orders. Delays piled up like the unsold stacks in Yard B. After Tet, came the hesitant reply. Time was running out. James exhaled quietly. Seeds for the new year later that afternoon. Where are you going? James asked Deep. To buy vegetable seeds. Leaving NHI alone? She's asleep. I asked the neighbor to watch her for a bit. What are you planting? Beets, cucumbers, carrots, radishes, cantaloupes, pumpkin leaves. The future, in small envelopes. I'll take you, James offered. She hesitated only briefly before agreeing. At the small supply shop, Ms. Twee, I'm here for the seeds I ordered. I thought you wouldn't pick them up. The shopkeeper teased. You've been busy. How much? 100,000 Vietnamese dongs. Deep inspected each packet carefully. Sweet pumpkin leaves, carrot, radish, red beet. The coming year's harvest, held lightly between her fingers. I'll send you the money, she said. As they rode back by motorbike, the air felt cooler. Behind them, 50 tons of wood, 74 gift boxes, millions of dong in bonuses. Ahead of them, seeds, soil, and whatever decisions still lingered between them.